It's now time to talk some player cards, which is a segment I really appreciate.
6 Sports Cards. Presented by Sports La Tornade.
Oh, yeah. 6 Sports Cards is presented by Sports La Tornade. There's my buddy Chris. Look at him. What a beauty. Sports cards, collectibles, and more. Visit the store at 1 Avenue de la Fabrique in Vaudreuil-Dorion. What's going on, my man?
Not much. Just had a big day of watching a lot of football.
Yeah, back at the store he is.
Yes, I am.
And you know what? As I prepared for the show, a little bit of on and a little bit of off here, what did I miss in the football world tonight?
When I left, there was halftime between the last game was
the Patriots and the Vikings. It's 26-23.
26-23, okay.
And in the third quarter. Okay, all right. So that's what I missed because, of course, we all had a chance to watch what happened earlier today, and the Buffalo Bills 28, the Detroit Lions 25, and the Dallas Cowboys over the New York Giants by a score of 28-20. What a beautiful day in the world of football today. And not only American football, but also European and South American and another kind of football, which here in North America is a sport that they talk soccer. And we'll have the Go for Gold segment a little bit later on. We'll tell you what happened today, and we'll line up who is playing tomorrow. As I'm wearing my Canada toque, and I've spent most of the night, by the way, Chris, everyone sees me moving my toque, and they're wondering why. Well, because I'm trying to get the middle of my glasses between the N and the A, and that's when it's probably going to be centered. Anyway, that's a problem that I'm having tonight, which is my problem. Hey, you were at the sports card show in Toronto, which was now several weeks ago. We brought it up, in passing a little bit, but I'd like to recap the show with you if I can. And I'm wondering, paint a picture for me about how many tables are set up at a show like that, how many people are walking in, and without giving away all your trade secrets, is there something that you do so that your relationship as the seller is different than someone else's relationship who owns another store with someone approaching them at the table, which would be the buyer? So, I mean, everyone has a selling technique. There's a technique even when you do podcasting and radio or TV and you do interviews. There's the whole breaking of the ice process that you try and do, which I tried to do with Jeff Gordon. Make the other person smile at one point, maybe make them laugh, break the ice, break them in slowly but surely. And your degree of questioning maybe goes a little deeper and deeper and maybe a little bit more level of difficulty as it goes on. Without giving away your trade secrets, I mean, is there something you do to ensure that your relationship with the buyer is a little bit different than what they'll get somewhere else? And do you do it all the time? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, definitely I do. But before I get there, I just want to show you this. This is, look at this. We got a new at Sports La Tornade. This is a Caden Gooley pillow.
Wow.
Okay. This is the next time I see you, this is yours. This is your birthday present from the store.
Okay, hold on a second. So, I'm going to do this now, okay?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I'm going to go in the other room and there's going to be something that I want to show you. But talk about that pillow for a second. I'll be back in 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
All right. Talk to the listeners and viewers about it.
Okay, so these pillows are made. They're a very good, they're a very hot commodity right now because people are picking them up as Christmas presents in the store. We have Caden Gooley, I have Kirby Dack, I have Caufield, we have Suzuki with the captain, we have Suzuki from last year. I also have all the other big players, Ovechkin, Crosby, Austin Matthews. We can have custom ones made. Somebody ordered a Tom Brady. So we do have many players available. And they sell for $35, and they're a great Christmas gift.
All right. This is a home that likes pillows.
Right.
And here's my buddy Leo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And here's my buddy Cristiano.
Right on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We like pillows. Those are pretty nice, huh?
So you're a soccer guy, and I always ask all the soccer guys, because I'm not that big into soccer, who's better?
The easy way out is to tell you that they're both very different players, and now we shouldn't compare them because they're different. Okay. If you don't want me to take the easy way out, it's funny because they're both wearing jerseys of their former teams here. Messi sporting a Barcelona jersey and Ronaldo sporting a Juventus. If you don't want me to take the easy way out and answer the question, I will say this. I will say that, and it's funny because if you ask anyone who's Portuguese, they're going to tell you Ronaldo's obviously better.
That's the obvious.
And they'll tell you that Lionel Messi was a byproduct of Barcelona, and that Cristiano Ronaldo can do what he does with any team, and Messi cannot. Which is it's anyway. It's their opinion. It's kind of ludicrous though. And if you talk to anyone who's from Argentina, they'll tell you Messi. Here's the deal: by the letter of the law and the actual term player, to play means to run, to dribble, to make moves, to zigzag, to use others around you. Lionel Messi, in that respect, is a better player than Cristiano Ronaldo. He's more of an east-west player who can also play north-south, and Ronaldo is more of a north-south player. It's remarkable what Cristiano Ronaldo has been able to do for himself and build himself into the machine that he is. I've talked to a lot of pro players, and everyone has an opinion. And what I notice is if you're a striker, most will probably say it's Ronaldo because he's been playing as a striker lately. And if you're not, you play another position. But most players seem to say, and by the way, my older son has been playing with one player who played in La Liga and played against Lionel Messi. And Lionel Messi had a really, really good game against him. And he told my son that, they're obviously both great, but Cristiano was much more predictable on the field than Lionel Messi was. You kind of knew what Cristiano was going to do. He would beat you because he'd probably out-muscle you, or he was really, really potent. But you never really knew what Lionel Messi was going to do because he was very, very unpredictable. Ronaldo is a guy, one-on-one, down the wing or in the box, he can kill you. Lionel Messi can go through 5 or 6 guys and score a goal or set up somebody else. So by the letter of the whole player thing, Messi's a better player. But, I know a lot of people who prefer Cristiano Ronaldo, and there's no wrong answer to this, right? I mean, Ronaldo is... We're talking, at the end of the day, we're talking about arguably the 2 greatest players of all time, right? So is there a wrong answer to this? I mean, I don't think so, right? When we're talking about arguably the 2 greatest players of all time, I don't think there's a wrong answer to this, but I really don't. So,
well, thanks for the education. Now I know. I'll take that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now, but everyone has a preference, right? And I like Cristiano's Twitter account and his Instagram account a lot more. Okay, Kelly says yes.
Austin Matthews pillow.
Austin Matthews pillow. How do I order one?
Yeah, you can give us a call at 450-218-3133. So you can call us at the store. You can reach us on Facebook Messenger or through on our Facebook page, Sports La Tornade. Yeah. Get a hold of us. We can ship it out for you anywhere you want. So
I was probably away going to get the pillows when you talked about Austin Matthews, but did you say what that's going for, or is that?
No, I was talking about the pillows. They're all the same price, but I was just saying how I can get different players from different teams. Okay. They're all you can custom make. If I don't have it and you have a special player, I can get it done. So, but definitely in the store is mostly Canadian stuff. But I do actually have an Austin Matthews.
Well, you're gonna end up selling a lot of Cole Caufields and a lot of Nick Suzuki's, I would imagine.
Yes, especially Christmas is coming, and those guys are hot.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right.
So
You know what's I don't know if you told me about the you showed me the pillow, but what's your approach like with buyers?
So the approach with buyers is so this year in the show, every time I go to the show in Toronto, which I push more and more for the collectors, they need to go. They need to experience this, because every year it gets bigger and bigger. So it's quite the experience. And what my experience is sometimes I have a table, sometimes I don't. So this year I went as a buyer. I did not actually have a table there. I showed up on the Thursday night. I get settled in. We did the podcast on the Thursday night. Friday, I showed up at the show, and I don't tend to buy on the Friday. I like to settle in, ask questions, see what's going on. You talk to all the vendors. You're at different tables talking to vendors, and you see the tendencies of the buyers to see what the market's like and what people are looking for. So this year at the show, the market was very different than other years. So right now, people are using the word recession or whatever it may be. So the market's a little bit lower right now, and the vendors seem to be a little bit more flexible. They were pushing more for the sale this year, and for collectors all around now, the time to buy is now. The cards are a little bit lower right now at this point. So if you can buy and you want to add to your collection, or you want to, finish a collection that you're not done, a set per se, it's time. It's if you want that card that you haven't, if you've been looking for some Suzuki card that you haven't been able to get for a while because, it's been quite pricey. It's time now that the tide has turned a bit more for the collectors and not so much the vendors. So the vendors had a very good time during COVID. People were at home. People were doing their buying online. People were watching sports card breaks that we'll get into eventually, opening packs and buying. So people, during COVID could do that, and they were spending a bit more money. And the vendors were. It was more of a sales market, and now all of a sudden we're seeing now the tables have turned towards more buying. So if you can, now's the time to buy, especially coming up. Like tomorrow's not Boxing Day, but Black Friday.
Yeah.
So Black Friday, every local card store is going to be putting on some pretty sick deals. So it's probably a good time to go shop tomorrow on Black Friday. Sports cards is almost like TVs. It's pretty hot. There's a lot of sales out there. So the
sales on everything, sales on packs, sales on individual cards, the sales on stickers, sales on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I went through it today. I went on my shelves and I just basically knocked down everything. Everything tomorrow is going to be a sale. It's Black Friday. Just to bring people in and have a look and show them the new stuff, obviously. So, at the show, it was definitely a buyer's market, and I saw a lot of deals, but there's the difference between myself and say another vendor. Now, I don't want to say, you never want to say, look, I'm better than someone else, or I feel like if I use an example, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, all the greats, I always say they're the best at what they do because they study more than anyone else.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
Wayne Gretzky.
Absolutely.
Tony Marinaro.
Yeah, well, I think if you study the game, you know what's coming. I can give you a great example. I have at the store here, I got a huge collection of Cale Makar. Okay. And people always said, Cale Makar, why Cale Makar? Well, I was looking at it over a month ago and I was thinking, 200 points, 200 games, the record's coming. When he breaks that record, what's going to happen to his cards?
Way up.
Absolutely. So you got to study that. And if you're into cards, but you don't really watch the game and stuff like that, you're going to miss out on some of those things.
Is there any Cale Makar card that I can get at your store, even though everyone knows the value is going to shoot way up? That's somewhat of a great deal right now. Is there a card that's a little bit different that maybe I can get at a good price?
Yeah, there's Cale Makar cards at my store anywhere from $10 right up to $1,200. More than that, actually. I got some at $3,000, some big ones. So yeah, there's Cale Makar is hot right now. Another player at the show, even though we were in Toronto, oddly enough, was Cole Caufield. Every table I went to, people were talking about Cole Caufield. What do you have? What do you have for Cole Caufield?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Chris, this has been all very enriching as usual. In ending, any surprises at the show in Toronto?
Yeah, actually, there was a big surprise for me this year. I showed up there. Oh, yeah. I was not expecting this, but I showed up this year, and I like to go see every table, every vendor, and there's always displays. Upper Deck is there and everything. And I went in the corner where all the grading companies are. So there's big grading companies that grade the cards. You know, people know PSA, people know Beckett, people know MNT, KSA. They're bigger companies. And all of a sudden I fell upon this new grading company, and it's been a while now that I've been saying that we're now in 2022. We need to upgrade in the card grading world, because a lot of cards are still getting graded by the human eye, and they're still being seen by people. And I feel like, you know, there's different people grading the cards all the time, and they're coming back. I'm seeing some that come back that, you know, maybe shouldn't be a 10. They don't look perfect. They don't look like 10s, but they're coming back as 10s. And I feel that it's hard to judge as a collector, what do I send or what don't I send in to get graded. So this new company called Tag had their booth there. I went and visited them. I stayed there for 2 hours. I really suggest people look them up. They have come up with a technology that is pretty all computerized. The card is basically, I like to see it like an X-ray. So they'll take like an X-ray of your card. They have their slab that they put the card in is by far superior. They have great rates. They're really going to push the game in the future. I feel like they're very up and coming.
Thanks so much for doing this, man, and we'll talk to you again in a while. He is Chris La Tornade from Sports Card Show La Tornade on 1 Avenue de la Fabrique in Vaudreuil-Dorion, and he says there's some great deals to be had tomorrow. Black Friday in the United States is going to be going on at 6 Sports Cards presented by Sports La Tornade. Thanks, Chris. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Marinaro, and that clip you just watched is from our most recent episode of the Sick Podcast. Once again, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and you'll be notified when we go live. I'm Marinaro. Tell your friends about it. This podcast, like me, is pretty sick.